I want to say that for as much frustration and as much sort of criticism as I've had over certain things, I definitely do appreciate that Frontier has said, we're listening, we're learning, we screwed up, we know that we owe it to you, we know that it's going to be a fight to get it back. I need them to continue to do that. They put out a very good Tuesday. On the Thursday stream, they put out a massive patch, which I didn't even mention. It's in the show notes. There's patch 3 and patch 3.01. On Thursday, they put out a massive patch. They could have used that opportunity to go in depth. In Final Fantasy XIV, when they put out a patch, when they put out their big content drops, they literally have the community team get together and they read through the patch note line by line and they say, oh, this one says this. Oh, we talked to one of the developers. What they mean by that is this. And they kind of put it into straight English for people, which does an amazing amount of work to edify their community and let them know, like, oh, this is what that is. That is what that is. They literally do like a 2.5 hour long, they call it a live letter for that game, where they go through all of that stuff. Can you imagine how great it would have been if on the Thursday stream they picked apart those notes? They're touting this patch as great stuff for us. Okay. Spend some time telling us about it. Instead, what they did is they went in there and ran around in a conflict zone. And I was in the chat and I even said, hey, would people like to see, management of the community on these streams instead of them running around shooting guns and whatever? And, how about, if they were to go through the patch notes and explain some stuff, answer questions, get it, get some information for the community. And Art saw my comment in the chat and literally just gave a very flippant, yeah, no, that's not what these are for. These are for us to play the game and to relax and have fun. And if you don't like that, then this isn't the stream for you. That to me doesn't sound like a guy who meant it when he said 2 days earlier, we know we screwed up and we have to do a better job of communicating to win back your trust. But I don't know. Maybe you guys disagree. Maybe you guys like the Thursday streams as they are. Let's go around the horn. With that criticism in mind, though, I do want to say I feel like they did better this week than last week, so I'll give that a plus. Baby steps, I guess. I would like to see them. Call me silly. I think that the community management team might want to manage the community on 100% of their streams instead of 50% of their streams. But whatever.
Yeah, just on that last point, I totally agree with that, Kai. I tuned in Thursday expecting them with their new communication method or ideals, and all it was is, nope, we're going to play the game. We're not going to even mention that there was a patch, and we're sure as hell not going to tell you what was in the patch or talk about it. And I watched them go down. I basically gathered that they weren't going to tell anything, so I tuned out. And it's absolutely ridiculous when the community is on fire and they're putting out patch after patch after patch, and a patch came out that night, the night before that stream, and they didn't even address it. To me, that's silly. I don't tune into those streams to watch them play the game. I can tune in to Boss to get way better conversation and a way better community if I want to tune in and watch somebody play the game. Never should be that way. That to me was a step forward on Tuesday and 2 steps back on Thursday. So we'll see what this week brings.
Boss Lady.
Oh no, tweets, damn it. I was going to say the I've been giving this a lot of thought since listening to last week's episode, and I think the thing that would be really awesome to see with those Thursday streams, yes, they want to have some streams where they are playing the game, and use that new or not master player aspect to their advantage. Like Kai said last week, one of the best ones was where they were getting taught to do the wall climbing. So learn from the community, bring people in, and they've done that. They've brought in Soldier Sailor to do Thargoid combat or things like that. Be the student. The community managers can be the student, and then have these experts teaching people, because then people tune in to see it. they want to see, they can learn from it. If the community managers are the people who are being the person that's having to be the person to learn, that helps because they can ask questions and things like that. But when it comes to the patch notes, I agree. I've seen some other communities, and that's all about how the company sets up those community streams. That is completely out of the control of the employees. That is all about how the company itself decides what they want to do. I think it would be great if they could have a segment where they did, even like Trevor Noah on the Daily Show does like, this is the news, but it's all the news in like 1 minute. If they could do that with the patch notes where they just went through and talked about it, talked about how it links into some of the things that they've been hearing from the community, and feed, get that feedback going back and forth where they're saying, hey, here's this patch notes, but you guys have been telling us this, and look, here it is on the patch note, or, this is in there. Well, maybe none of you know what that is. I do think that would be really helpful. I don't think they have to completely throw out the gameplay, but maybe just shift it a bit, shift it so that it's interesting. It's people are tuning in to learn something. That's always the point of content.
Black Maze.
I like that the wall riding stream stood out to you. That's cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely think the live streams are a good platform for things like that. I'll add that I think that the basis of communication should be in writing, and then they can go over that in the live stream. If there's important things that you want your community to know about, don't do it in a live stream that only a small portion watches. Put it in writing, in a newsletter, email, and or the forum. Make sure that everyone has easy access to that. And then, spend time talking about it in your live streams and doing fun things.